Alrighty, so today we're going to be talking about volume. And so when you think about volume of a three-dimensional figure, it's essentially how much space is inside the figure. Okay? Um, and it is three-dimensional, so this is the one time where our units are going to be cubed. Okay, so feet cubed, inches cubed, miles cubed, whatever. Okay? And I think to me, it seems it's a little bit easier than surface area because there's just a couple. You don't have to remember as much. There's no long process. And luckily enough, for prisms and cylinders, it's the same formula. You just change it based on whatever the shape is. Okay. So you need to remember for a prism, the volume is going to be capital B H. Now I'll explain what it means. So capital B H. H is the height. Okay. Capital B is the area, so make sure it's area of the base. The base being whatever you can set the shape flat on, okay? So the best way I can describe this to you is like if you have a pack of white paper. You lay one piece of paper down, and you can lay another one, and another one, and another one, and so on and so forth. And eventually you'll get a stack of papers. And so the only thing that changed is the height, how tall your pieces of paper got, how tall your stack got. The base, being the piece of paper, did not change. So that's kind of what we're working with here. And you can let the base be whatever you want, especially for a prism, because it doesn't. Every side's flat, so you can set it down flat, and it's not going to roll anywhere. Okay, so I always like to section off what my base area is going to be, something times something, and then times the height. Okay. Now, you can let any one of these be the base. You could let the 5 by 5 be a base. You could let this 5 by 7 be a base. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go with this 5 by, so I'm going to just highlight what I'm talking about. So this face of the prism right there, I'm going to let that be the base. Like I'm going to set it flat down on that base. So that area is 5 times 7. Now, I need the height. So how tall would it be if I stack my papers this way? Well, this is going to be my height then because that's how tall I'm going to be. And I attempted to highlight right there and I didn't do very well. So this right here is how tall we are. So that's going to be times 5. Now you might be thinking, Mr. Thompson, that looks like what we did in middle school, length times width times height. And it is. I'm just telling it to you in a different fashion. But it's the same thing. If you want to do length times width times height, then that's perfectly fine. I don't really care. But anyway, so area of the base, 5 times 7 times the height. Multiply that together, 5 times 7 times 5. That's 175. And this is volume, so that's going to be centimeters cubed. Okay, so volume is your units are cubed now because it's three-dimensional. Okay, so same thing. We're going to do capital BH. Capital B is the area of my base. So I got to pick a base and then a height. And again, you could do anything. I'm going to let this 4 by 7 here on top, I'm going to let that be my base. So that area is 4 times 7. And then my height is actually going to be the 12 here. Oops, I did H again. So times 12. Multiply it together. 4 times 7 times 12 is 336. This would be yards cubed. Okay? And then same thing here. I'm going to let my base be this 3 by 4 rectangle. So 3 times 4 is the area of my base. How tall is my rectangle or my prism? Right there. So 3 times 4 times 4. Multiply that together. 48 feet cubed. Okay? That's really it. Like I said, volume should be really easy. Okay? Essentially length times width times height. Or you can do this capital BH method that I'm showing you. It's essentially the same thing. Okay. For a cylinder is a circular prism. You could say it that way. They're cousins. And guess what? They get the same volume formula. Capital B, area of my base, times the height. But my base this time now is the circle. So that's where this is different. So my base of my circle, or base of my prism is a cylinder. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I'm misspeaking so many times. The base of the cylinder is a circle. So we have to do this area formula for a circle. Radius squared pi. Radius is 3. So 3 squared pi times the height, 11. So you multiply all that together, and you get 311.02 feet cubed. And that's it. So your base now is, this would be like if you had circular pieces of paper, you just start stacking them up. Your base is a circle times however tall your cylinder is. Okay. Volume, capital BH. My base here is a circle with radius 11, so 11 squared pi times my height of 7. Multiply all that together, 2,660.93 cubic yards. Okay. And on this one, notice I gave you the diameter this time as 18. You need the radius, so you just divide it in half. Okay, and then do what we've been doing. 9 squared pi for my area of the base times 6, how tall my cylinder is, 1,526.81 meters cubed. Okay, and that's it. That's all you have to do. Okay. And now we have a sphere. So a sphere is really, again, we looked at yesterday, so the surface area for a sphere. It's a little strange. The volume for a sphere is even stranger. Okay, now I'll just show you the formula. Because again, with a sphere, you can't do this unless you know the formula. So the formula is 4/3 radius cubed times pi. Okay, so 4/3 radius cubed pi. Okay, so we just plug in our radius. You type all this in. Now, make sure you do the fraction form. So if you're on Desmos or the TI-84, make sure you type in the fraction 4/3. And then your radius is cubed. Make sure it's raised to an exponent of 3, not 2. Exponent of 3. And then times pi, you type all that in. We're going to get 33.51 cubic yards. Okay? So again, 4/3 radius cubed pi. 4/3 times a radius of 7 cubed times pi. That's 1,436.76 yards cubed when you type all that in. Okay? Last one, this is my diameter, remember, because it goes across. My diameter is 18. I need my radius, so just divide it in half. Four thirds times 9 to the third power times pi. And we type it in, 3,053.63 cubic centimeters. And there we go. That's it. So that's all the volume we're going to do. Okay? So as long as you have the formulas and you understand what to put in each spot, you should be fine. Okay? I would think this would be easy. So make sure you watch the video all the way through. Complete your assignment. And as always, if you have questions, please let me know.